Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Outdoor Enthusiast channel. So for today, I have the M&P 2.0 compact 4-inch model by Smith & Wesson. Unloaded, of course. Brand new, right out of the box. Never been fired except for the factory test rounds. So I'm gonna give you guys my first impression. We'll go on with the review, put a bunch of mags through it, see how she holds up. Nice back strap here. Definitely noticed by holding it that grip texture is very aggressive. This is good on a nice hot day like today. A lot of sweat going on, so this might help out in the end, but we'll see how she holds up. Nice scalloped cuts on the slide here, as well as a little bit on the front there for press checks. Not too bad. So let's go ahead and put a mag through it. First mag. All right, first mag, 15 rounds, got a 7-yard target. See how she does. Wow, not bad. First couple of rounds, you can see they're kind of low. That trigger's a little squishy. See if I can show you guys. See the trigger, you do have the, flip around here, you do have that little, nice little rotating piece here that pivots. So you go ahead, so you can watch that. So that take up. Reset. Reset's pretty short, audible. That part helps make this a little more accurate, which is good, but you can see it's not bad overall. Again, you can actually use the 17 rounders from the full size. Go ahead, put it in there, see the grip, extend it a little bit, makes it feel almost like a full size grip. See how the 17ers do. All right, so my thumb was kind of rotting a little bit, I suppose. That time I really purposely moved it away. Certain pistols have certain drag on there, depending on where your thumb is, but this one's really light slide, kind of like Mechanic. So something to watch out for. SIG V-crown, jacketed hollow points. Let's see how she runs to the compact. No problems. So I wanted to show you guys real quick what you get in the box. This is fresh from the store. I kind of messed around with it a little bit just to kind of check function and make sure it looks good for shipping. But overall, this is pretty much how you get it from the factory. So Smith & Wesson has upped their game recently in some nice, more hard plastic cases. Typically they used to ship a lot of their Smith & Wessons in like a blue and white box, essentially, a cardboard box. So they're having this nice little case, latches, if you use it or not, is a nice addition. Open it up. I did pick this up from Grab-A-Gun. They actually have some really good deals going on, so pick that up. It does come in this little wax paper here with the Smith & Wesson 1852. Little marketing paper there, help protect it. And here is the M&P 2.0 compact 9mm. Comes with a little chamber indicator as well as empty mag in the gun. And you have a spare 15-round mag right here. All right, there you go. It looks like it's kind of a generic padding they put in here, because look, they even have one where it could have a thread adapter on the end for a threaded muzzle for a suppressor. And then of course down here you have little adapters, 2 of them, that go on the bottom of 17-round magazines for the M&P series. They go on the bottom so that you can't over-insert a 17-round mag, because of course the 15-rounders are flush, right there. Let's see, we also have 4, 3 not on the gun and 1 on the gun, 4 different magwell pistol grip adapters, I guess you would call them, module hand grip adapters. You can see it fits your hand differently depending on which one it is. It looks like you have maybe 1, 2 2, 3, 4. So I'm on number 2 right here. That is how this one came, number 2. But you do have a thinner one, as well as a little bit bigger and a little bit even bigger than that. Number 2 seems to fit my hand pretty well, but I won't know until I really get to shooting this a little more, learn a little bit more how it feels after shooting it. Up here, you got some manuals, cheap little cable lock, warranty information, that kind of stuff. Take a look at the gun a little closer here. Of course, comes unloaded, 15 round mag. These seem to be hard to get right now. I'm kind of looking around. They're pretty expensive right now. I'm hoping to get them when they start going down in price, more closer to the $25 range, which typically is what Smith & Wesson M&P magazines go for. Right now, they're over 30. So I'm kind of looking to see if there's any good deals, free shipping, things like that. But first impressions, I mean, this thing feels great. About a year ago when I first picked one of these up to kind of look at it from the gun store, I just noticed how rough this texture is, and I was kind of off-put by it, really. I wasn't sure if I really liked it. I'm kind of used to maybe a medium aggressive texture, but this is very aggressive in my opinion, especially if you have a little bit bigger one, like this one right here that has the extra little tail bit up there, nice and beefy. I mean, I was kind of worried, but then I shot the 4-inch here, and then I also shot the 3.6 at a Smith & Wesson day at a local range, and I fell in love with it. I mean, these things are accurate. They're a joy to shoot. That texture doesn't really bother you that much, and you can always hit it with some sandpaper. Go ahead, do a quick takedown. Here's the inside. Never been fired, brand new. Captive spring, brand new barrel. Looks like it has literally just a little bit of dirt, probably from the test fire they did. There you go. Brand new barrel, brand new slide, everything's new, not shot yet. There's all the internals, very similar to most of the M&Ps. Really, it's more of an external change here compared to the old ones. The first gens. All right, you can see they have a little painted blue marker to show where the spring goes. Line it up, you can see there's a little notch right there. Flick it forward. A little bit of scalloping up top here. I mean, it's not too bad. You're kind of gripping the slide more than anything if you want to do any press checks. Of course, the scalloping on the slide itself, very tactile. Pretty easy slide to manipulate. I would say it's actually easier than my Gen 1 Shield overall. Don't worry about the slide lock. A lot of these have real stiff, so you can't manipulate it. But this is a good size, so you won't accidentally hit it. But also, closes pretty nicely. No problems there. Sights, standard 3-dot. Could switch them up for night sights. Might just do that. Mag well, you do have some points here. Strip the magazine out if you had to. There is no rounded off edges or anything like that to help guide in the mag well there. Nothing like that, but it looks like it should be pretty easy to do that. Let's talk about the trigger real quick. You do have the hinge right here, typical Smith & Wesson hinge trigger. You can see how it manipulates if you hold it right. If you don't hold it right, if you hold it too high, you can do it too low, but you can't hold it high and you can't just hit the trigger. See that? You can't just hit it. You have to actually have your pad activating that bottom piece. It's an okay design. It definitely means you have to have your finger on the trigger for it to go off. You can't just, you know what I'm saying? You can't just hit it by accident. See this little hinge right there? There you go. Not too bad. I mean, not the best trigger. Not as good as the Canic or the PPQ actually as well. But it's not bad. It's a decent stock trigger. Better than the originals, I think. not bad. And lastly, the grip here, toolless design. You actually turn this like this. Go ahead, pull it out. You'll see that it only goes in one way. It has a little lip right there. And then these pop off, a little hinge. And I'll show you what the bigger one looks like real quick. Give you an idea. Slide in up like that. This one has a little beaver tail kind of set up there. Twist it. It's not going anywhere. The bigger one, I mean, it's good for bigger hands. I mean, I got kind of medium hands, so I think number 2, maybe even number 3 might be the way to go. I did not like this actually when I tried number 3. I just think it's kind of feels weird. It's a little too much against your finger for my taste. So I think the number 2 for my personal preference is the way to go. So let's go ahead and get some more shooting in. So actually shooting a mix of 9mm today, mostly Winchester white box, some PMC thrown in there, but right here, fresh 15 round mag, about 7 yards. Let's see if I take my time, see what kind of accuracy you can get out of this thing. So first couple of rounds, it's still me probably getting used to the trigger, even after 100 rounds, still a little squishy for me. You can see a couple of them went down, a little high on the top there, but then I placed most of them in about a 6-inch group in the middle there, 7 yards, which isn't terrible. I'll need a lot more practice with this right here, but overall, I mean, the accuracy is there. So let's talk about the mags. You can see the 15 rounders right here and here, 17 rounder right here with the little collar that it comes with. They have a nice finish to them. They don't seem too bad. Magazine insertion. It's not really too flared or anything like that, but it does have a little mark right here for stripping your magazine out, if you had to. But overall, they seem to spit them out pretty smoothly, no matter which one you use. Loading. Not bad. Again, I usually use up one of these loaders here just because you go through a lot of rounds in a day. You see they do have the line right here that Smith & Wessons tend to have on their new magazines to kind of show it's brand new. Looks like they just draw a Sharpie line on it. Magazine loading isn't too bad. As the count, you actually have odds and evens. So you have even on this side on the right side, odd on the left side through 15. And same with the 17 rounder. And of course, it works with your typical loader as well, which saves on the thumb. So final thoughts on the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 compact 4-inch model. Honestly, it's a great shooter. It compares very well with the Glock 19, except it is a cheaper option. You can get these right now for about 400 bucks, sometimes below, which is phenomenal for the fact that the aftermarket support is growing very rapidly with the M&P series, similar to the Glock series. So it's something where if you don't like something on the stock configuration, like the sights or the trigger or even the slide or the barrel, you can switch those out and upgrade to something a little bit nicer. In fact, the trigger is one thing on here that I'm not a huge fan of. I just don't know if I like how squishy it is. You can see it takes a while with the take up. Hit the wall, a little bit of travel there. Reset is okay, but honestly, I might do a whole review on the trigger, talk about how we can upgrade to a like an Apex trigger, which seems to be really popular now. And Apex does a great job with one of the flatty Apex triggers and has a little bit different safety style, a little bit more similar to Glock or Mechanic. So that part is really nice. Honestly, the sights I might switch out for night sights. Of course, it's kind of a given these days. They do come with nice 3-dot sights, of course. So there's no problem there. The accuracy is there. Reliability is there. Been to the range several times now. Went through about 500 rounds. No issues to report whatsoever. In terms of the grip, The grip itself with the sandpaper, I thought I would not like it, but honestly, if you shoot this and just keep shooting it, it's gonna wear down naturally a little bit, and it's gonna kind of soften up a little bit. I mean, when you first get it, you kind of grab it and you're like, man, that's like really rough sandpaper. And if you really don't like it with the initial, just looking over the gun, you could hit it with maybe some 1000 grit sandpaper, just a little bit, lightly hit it on each side, just to help kind of soften it in a way. But honestly, if you shoot this a bunch, I think it's going to go and just wear it down on its own naturally, which is really nice. Also, the rail on here is very nice. It holds things like the PL Mini just fine. Activation is good. Either finger, no issues there. And it can hold something a little bit bigger, like the larger Olight PL2. Again, activation either side is good, fits well. It's a little cramped with the angle there. If you can see, it kind of is a little bit cramped with the angle of the trigger guard there in the front, but it does go on just fine. So, hey guys, so that's it. Honestly, no problems to report there. Like I said, maybe the trigger, maybe actually maybe a barrel too, honestly. Of course, the barrel that comes with it is plenty accurate, but I might switch it out, get something for a threaded barrel in case I want to suppress this someday. Sights, maybe get some night sights, something a little bit different. But overall, this is an awesome deal. Get it now, the prices are good, and that's it, guys. So, hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, let me know if you have any questions below. I'll be happy to answer them, and I'll see you in the next review.